Hi, Kobe Ben.
I said,
It's been a while.
yeah, I just recently got back from Lagos. And I went to Lagos for publicity reasons for No One Dies Yet, but also to find a local publisher that would be interested in purchasing Sub-Saharan rights for No One Dies Yet to make it cheaper for Lagos readers.
But then, yeah, can you tell me how you actually even wrote this book in the first place? How did you get into writing? Why did you want to be a writer? And how has the experience been for you so far?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a writer growing up. It's a cliche, but I thought I would have my first book when I was like in my teenage years. And because of the climate of publishing and how it's difficult for local writers to break into the Western front, because the local publishing scene is not that great, right? To make an income of living as a writer, exactly. So I every year I'd write a novel and pitch it, and for 7 years, this took 7 years, No One Dies Yet came to me in 2019 after the year of return, and I wrote it and it went through and I became a published author. So
Yeah, congratulations.
thanks.
I mean, I know it's not easy to be a published author, but then I know Jamestown actually, it's in your book. So let's have a little stroll around. So you tell me more about that. Okay?
Thanks. I'd love to feature the areas of Jamestown that are highlighted in No One Dies Yet.
Well, that's good. Let's go. I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, the same thing I say about Cape Coast, that people haven't gotten the time to actually reflect on what happened in the past because of human conditions.
All these people are just really going to work. They can't
Yeah,
stop.
I mean, people need to survive. Over there. This is a very busy street in Jamestown, and I just love the energy of this place.
I mean, it's still early in the day, but in the afternoon, you see that the vendors will crowd over the streets, and as pedestrians are walking, they are accosting them with their words. It's a beautiful scene, and I write something about that I'd like to highlight in the novel. On certain days, Accra decides it's going to burn with such fury that it hopes its inhabitants get a taste of what hell feels like and repent as the roadside pastors instruct. It's as if the city is angry about some slight committed against it, burning into rooftops of cars in traffic, through the shielding umbrellas mothers wield to hide the babies wrapped against their backs. Fires erupting on pavements into the shoes of pedestrians and peddlers who yell, "Erade, again I am titi and sa." Still, nothing. Not even the coconut oil bleeding down my hairline and staging my eyes deters me from my Saturday routine. To be born in Accra is to have the thick skin needed to survive her tempestuous moods. Even if the city batters and slaps you around, you have no other bosom to turn to. So you lean into the heat like you endure a mother's tough love, convinced you have a change of heart. Then at some grown age, you wonder why maternal hate isn't as touted as maternal love. God knows having such language would free a lot of children from expecting love to materialize where hate is festering, from expecting Accra to love us when she's only capable of hate, of heat scorching our sensitive napes, our hyperpigmentations and our aging skin, our cracked lips chorusing, "Black don't crack," when Accra cracks her whip over our backs. Accra hates us all. On Saturdays, it's these streets of Accra I spend my afternoons browsing, looking for love, buying love from independent bookstores on tabletops. At Kingsway, there are rows and rows of books mounted on sloping slabs of wood, on mats, on the arms of men who wave their wares, their love in the faces of pedestrians. I'm the richest man in Babylon. Hey, buy my richest man in Babylon. Accra streets are the best places to stumble on prehistoric Harlequin romances, silhouette bodies rippers, and bestsellers from old white writers. The stuff that always made it to the Sunday Times bestseller list 2 decades ago. Anyone fooled into walking into a bookshop labeled bookstore would be surprised to find only outdated diaries and stationery. true bibliophiles know that to find their next read, they've got to approach these streets as though it were their oyster farm, searching for undiscovered gems among pirated copies of Becoming.
Lovely, Seth. Can you please tell me more about the book?
So, Seth, the book is called No One Dies Here because about 3 African Americans who come to Ghana during the year of return to explore the preserved slave sites. But listen to this, they also want to explore the underground queer scene. So they hired 2 tour guides, Kobe, who is a Francis link to the underground queer scene in Ghana, and Nana, who is like the voice of tradition and religious principle and doesn't want the friends to chase after their queer intention. So because of that, it creates a tension in the narrative. And these 2 tour guides, who are the narrators, hate each other with a passion. They are sure that by the end of the novel, one of them is going to die. So no one dies yet, exactly.
Wow. Can you tell me how important Jamestown is to the story?
So when we talk about Ghana during the year of return, we are talking about a congregation of so many African and Black identities. And Jamestown is one of the locations where these congregations happen. We talk of Chalwote, which happens primarily in Jamestown. So I could not see any reason to write a book about Ghana during the year of return and exclude Jamestown.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can feel the scenes in my head. I mean, feels like I'm walking through the street that you're talking about, and I can't wait to actually read a book for myself. Yeah.
But you've not read it yet.
Yes, of course. Because, you know, running the library is not an easy job, and so you're always busy.
I mean, there are billions of titles to go through in the library.
Yeah.
I don't envy you at all.
Yeah. Kobe, so can you tell me about your vision for literature in Ghana and in Africa, and how you find yourself in this vision?
For me personally, I often think of emigrating, as lots of writers have done, emigrating to the West to offer more visibility so that I can sell more. So yeah, this is a very emotional topic for me. I feel like when you are on the continent, you do not get as much coverage as you will if you're in the West, because of course the book is published in the West, right? But also it's sad to think about the facts that I'd have to leave this place. This is the place that I was born and bred. So it's still an idea I'm still flirting with. But then again, all the best stories come from the continent. I would love, you asked about the future of African writing. I would love that writers commission more African writers on the continent so that lots of us do not have to be doing that emigration to get MFA accreditations from foreign universities before we find a literary agent or a publisher to believe in us. It would be nice if the stories come from home, because we are the homegrown writers with the narrative. We have the stories to tell. It would be nice if an editor in a publishing house in the West sees our work and says that, yes, I would love to publish this, just as an editor sorry, this is emotional. Just as an editor took a chance on me, I love that editors take chances on writers on the continent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we eat some?
Yeah, you can eat now. I mean, listen, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
I'm a bit heavy for you, but
Yeah. Thanks.
ah.
Where do we start?